Welcome in, I'm Artress, and in this video, we're going to be going over another new leader to come from OP08 in Tony Chopper, a red and green leader with 4 life. Now this leader reads, activate main once per turn, put up to 1 Rested Dawn, each on up to 3 of your animal or drum kingdom type characters. So being in red and green, you have access to a slew of different animal and also aggro type tools, which can really help push forward, especially since you're a 4 life leader, you're needing to be able to be more proactive instead of having to sit back and be reactive. But we'll get into the deck list in a second. Before we get into that, if you find anything in this video useful or informative, please make sure to drop a like and a sub. It helps out the channel immensely. I cannot thank you enough for the support. I appreciate all of you guys. Additionally, if you'd like to talk about the One Piece card game outside of the YouTube comments, please make sure to join the Discord. The community is ever growing. We'd love to have you. The link is in the description below. So as I mentioned, with this archetype and with these colors being red and green, I think you're supposed to be playing a little bit more aggressive style of play, considering that a lot of the Chopper, Drum Kingdom, animal support that we've seen come out over the few sets leads to be a little bit more aggressive overall, just spewing out bodies, especially with the new Chopper that comes out from OP08. But the deck list itself, we are running 4 of the Chopper blocker from EB01. This is actually one of the most valuable cards in this deck. It is a Dawn ×2 when attacking. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power during this turn. It's very hard to trade with the board with this deck, and so this Chopper blocker, despite it being a blocker overall, you will typically attack with it and use the effect to be able to reduce the power of something that's a lot bigger, to be able to swing into it, get cards out of hand, or be able to trade into the board. So I really like this card a lot, especially at 4, because it has the versatility of being a blocker or being able to trade into the board. Then we're running 3 Nami. This is an on-play look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal a Straw Hat Crew type card other than Nami and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. We're running a fair amount of Chopper, just in general, just Chopper cards, and all of those will be Straw Hat Crew. We're also running the 9-cost Zoro at 2, which is a Straw Hat Crew card. Unfortunately for like Bonney, you can't search this out with your 1-cost Bonney if you're playing like the green leader Bonney, because it doesn't have Supernova. It just has the Straw Hat Crew, and I think they did that on purpose. So with being able to play red, you can search it out with the Nami, which is very nice because this is the 9-cost Zoro is a win condition against some decks. We'll get to that in a second. Then we're running 4 of the Tony Chopper from OP04. This is an on-play, play up to 1 animal type character card with 3,000 power or less from your hand. We have a few of those that we'll get to, but this is mostly supposed to be used to be able to swarm the board as quickly as possible with the effect of being able to play something from hand, which overall is a very powerful and can be an overwhelming tool. I'm running 2 of the 8-cost dragons. I think that this is one of Red's strongest cards, and I think that it might not fit in this deck quite well enough, but I do want to try it out a little bit, see how it works in this deck. It's a rush unit that says on play, give your leader or up to one of your characters up to 2 Rested Dawn. So you can play this down, have a rush unit. You can put the Dawn wherever you so choose, probably on the leader, and then from there, because you play this down, then you can activate your leader ability and then put 3 extra Dawn onto 3 characters. If there's 3 characters, you can put 3 Dawn on. So overall though, this is not a searchable unit. You have to draw into it, but when you do, I'm not upset with this. I think this card applies a lot of pressure, and it is a nicer top-end piece since a lot of your units will be a lot lower in cost, so very easy for decks like Lucci to be able to KO. Even yellow decks, like even Vegapunk, for instance, or Enel, if you're going against Enel, can take care of a lot of your smaller units with their like Rocket Luffy or Gadatsu or Nami. But Dragon's a little bit harder for them. They have to have Katakuri. They can't just swing into it because 9K is a very beefy unit. Now, the absolute star of this deck is the 3-cost Chopper that came out of OP08. This is a your turn, on play, and when attacking, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and from among them, play up to 1 animal type character with a power of 4,000 or less as rested. Then place the rest of your cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. You can very quickly cycle through your deck with this card, but what's the most important thing here is you're just able to get a lot of value just from the on play, but then also if it survives a turn, which I'm going to be honest, oftentimes if you're playing against like Lucci, it's not going to survive a turn, but if it does, it will be able to accrue even more value past that. So it's very important that the on play is able to be triggered. You know, that's the most important thing, getting instant value from this card. You're hopefully finding this card in your opening hand. If you're not, you're searching for it with the Nami or some of the other searchers that we do have. Then we're running 4 Hiking Bear, a card from OP08. This is a 2k counter, animal, and Drum Kingdom type card. It says Dawn ×1, activate main once per turn. Give up to one of your animal type characters other than this character, plus 1000 power for this turn. So you can actually play this out with the Chopper from OP04 that we talked about, because the on play will bring out an animal type character with 3000 power or less. This is your best target for that card, and then once this card is on the field, you can use your leader ability to basically get this Hiking Bear ability for free. Another card from OP08 that we're including in here is Mudang or Robson. Is a 3-cost, 4000 power body, Dawn ×2. This character gains Rush. So we're adding more Rush units in. It's an animal and Drum Kingdom type card, so you can search it out through Dr. Kureha, which is the next card we'll get to in a second, but also the leader ability is able to target this as well. This card is very strong because it does have Rush on it. I think that we're trying to be as aggressive as possible, and so Robson helps accomplish that. Then we're running 3 Dr. Kureha. As you can see, I'm running 3 and 3 on searchers, mostly because I did find that deck space is a little bit tight here. This list is based off of the only list in Japan that actually topped. Most of it's the same, but I did change a couple of things here and there. I tested some stuff out and took out some things I didn't like, put some things in that I wanted to see work. I think they were running Kureha as maybe 2. I can't quite remember, but I did want to use this searcher a little bit more because we are running quite a few choppers and then also Drum Kingdom, so it will hit more often than not. If it doesn't hit, then something's wrong, to be quite honest. But yeah, Dr. Kureha will be able to grab pretty much every unit that we've seen so far, except for the Nami and the Dragon. And it's just really, honestly, just another good searcher on top of the Nami to have. Next, we're running the 5-cost Blocker Law from OP01. This is an on-play. You may return one of your characters to your hand, play one character card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. You're going to be using this to combo with this 3-cost chopper. If this chopper will survive on play, you'll get the effect, and then the following turn when you attack with it, more than likely you're going to be at 5 Dawn, unless of course this came out with the Shut Up and Come With Us, which you'll see in a second. If it didn't come out with that effect, and it is on your 5 or more Dawn turn, you can then play the Law, bounce this back to hand, and then play it for free with the Law, getting yet another on-play effect going on overall. So as you can see, with this combo, you can very quickly just build up a board that will overwhelm your opponent very fast. And it's very hard for a lot of people to deal with 5 characters on the board. Even if they're like smaller characters, it doesn't matter. It's just more pressure added at the end of the day, which your opponent likely won't be able to answer. So that's why we're running Law in this build. You could run it at 4. It's not searchable, and it doesn't really serve a purpose beyond just being able to use this chopper over and over again in a couple of turns. Obviously, blockers are nice. We're not going to frown at this, but I think that, this is probably a cuttable card, in my opinion. It is a really good combo piece, so maybe it's not cuttable. I don't know. You can run it from 3 to 4 and just be fine with either. Then to round up our 2k counters, we are running the chopper that is out of OP02. It's a green chopper. To be honest, this is probably one of my least favorite cards out of the entire deck, but we are not running that many 2k counters overall, and so we do need to be able to have some searchable ones, both off of the Nami and the Kureha, because it does have Chopper from Kureha, and it does have Straw Hat Crew for Nami. The effect sometimes comes up if you're going against maybe a yellow deck and they have a Shirahoshi blocker, or if you're going against maybe like Bonney and they have Rosinante blocker. You can use the effect to rest those blockers. Overall, though, the effect is pretty useless. I'm probably thinking too small in scope, but just out of pure what comes to mind right now, that's what's the most important thing, just being able to rest those pesky blockers for basically free, because with your leader ability you can just put the 1 Dawn on and then get that blocker to be rested. Then I'm running 4 of the Brook from OP02. This is an on-play play up to 1 Film or Straw Hat Crew type character card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. So this will be able to play out all of the choppers that we have seen so far for free. You play this on 4 and you can bring out this chopper, or this chopper, which is very nice because you get more value, you get a couple bodies on the board, and like I said, this deck, the whole point here is just to be as aggressive as possible, fill up the board as quickly as you can, use those units in the early game to really just overwhelm your opponent, and once you get to the middle or late game stages of whatever game you're playing, then you can drop the big bodies like the Dragon or Cody Jones, the best card in green, my favorite card to come from green, a 7-cost, 8,000 power body, rush, and on play. rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters and or Dawn, then put the top of your life cards into your hand. This card has so many great practical uses here. It's great to trade into the board. It's great to go for game. If you're playing against Nami, it's great to rest their Dawn. The only thing that I will say here is that since you are a 4-life leader, you have to be careful as to when to use this, because you don't want to be taking too much life and then just out of nowhere get lethaled. But I think Hody Jones is just a great character overall. I wish that, you know, Hody Jones was a animal type character. Fish are animals, so why isn't Hody Jones not an animal? You know, like that. For me, I wish that, you know, to overall synergize with the deck, it'd be nice, but I can't get everything I wish for. So Hody Jones just being a giant rush body that rests units is, I guess, good enough, you know. To be honest, though, this is probably one of the best green cards, if not the best green card in the game. Then, as I mentioned, we're running 2 Zoro. This is a strong win condition against a lot of decks like yellow. You're going to be struggling against yellow because if you go against Enel, if you go against Katakuri, those decks can just beat you down with, you know, swinging 7 or big units, but the Zoro will help mitigate a lot of that, either trading into the board or just pushing game. Nobody really can answer this except for Black. Blue has answers, of course, with Red Rock, and then Enel has answers with Raigo, but Zoro, for the most part, is going to be untouched if you're able to play this down. And then, like I said, it's searchable off of the Nami, so you might want to grab it if you're in a matchup where you really need it. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be passed up when you're doing a lot of the searches, and that's fine. It's not a thing that you need to have to win a game, but it is a nice to have if you can drop it down safely in other matches. So keep in mind that Zoro is one of those things that, you know, you don't always need, but in some matchups, it definitely comes in and is the MVP of certain matchups. Then another card to come out of EB01 is Shut Up and Come With Us. This is a 1-cost counter event that says look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put up to 1 cost 3 or less animal type character into play, then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. This is a tool that you're going to use to cheat out bodies when people are swinging into you. So hopefully you're able to use this, leave up Dawn, use this, and then bring out the 3-cost chopper so that you can effectively swing with it. And I think that's why this is a your turn effect, because if you had the Shut Up and Come With Us, bringing out this chopper and the your turn on play wasn't part of it, and it's just an on play, feel like this combo would be just absolutely busted. But already as it is, getting a body out for 1 is incredibly strong, and especially if that body is this chopper. Specifically, you're hoping for this one because this one does the most for very little Dawn usage at the end of the day. So this is one that you can search out with Nami or Kureha, because Kureha searches out Drum Kingdom, Nami searches out Straw Hat, and so it fits both of those archetypes. And I think that this is one of those cards that I will mulligan for usually if I don't see a chopper in hand. For instance, if I open up and I don't have this chopper or this Shut Up and Come With Us, I'll usually mulligan for something else. And then finally, I'm running 1 Jambe because why not? This combo, being able to combo with this Zoro is overkill, yes, but incredibly fun. If you can pull it off, kudos to you. I've done it a few times, and man, it feels so good, but it is very difficult to find those 3 pieces specifically. They are searchable, of course. You have the Nami to search out Zoro. You also have the Nami to search out Jambe. You can just draw into them naturally. You might want to bump this up to 2 if you really want to, because, you know, surprise lethal with any of these characters is very nice. And also, if you're going against like some of the meta decks like Black, Yellow, Luffy, Zoro, of course, is one of your answers to that, but also Jambe can help be an answer to that if they do not do the 1 life loop. And they just have an exposed board where maybe they have the Sabos up and they're sitting at 9k leader and they have 0 life. You just go Jambe and swing all in with, if Zoro's up, sure, do it, but if not, you can just do it with your leader as well. And probably at that point in the game, grinding them out enough turn after turn, which you're 4 life, that's going to be hard, but you can do it. It will take some people by surprise. So Jambe is good. I might want to bump this back up to 2. I was running it at 2, but I was like, you know what? If I'm going to cut some things for other cards, then like Dragon, for instance, then I feel like Jambe might be one you could cut down for, because you can, you know, you don't always need it. It's a dead card in hand. Most of the times, if you have 2 of them and you draw into 2, it feels really bad. But Nami being able to search it out is very nice. Some other cards that I had considered for this deck, I believe were, I think it's Wapple from, yeah, this is a Drum Kingdom type card that came out in OP08. It's a Dawn ×1. When attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power for this turn. Then give this character plus 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. This card is amazing. However, I feel like it's a little bit too slow for what we're trying to do here. And on your 6th Dawn turn, Typically, you're going to be trying to put Dawn on other characters, or maybe playing out things like Law or the Brook instead, and then building up board and then putting the remaining Dawn on other characters and swinging in that way. Wapol, though, if you can make this work, I suggest trying to fit it in because it does fit with your leader. It's searchable off Correa, and the effect is just overwhelmingly powerful. Being able to minus something on the board, and then this also, until the opponent's next turn, gains plus 2,000 power. Really, really great card overall for the deck. It's just hard to fit it in based off of like other things that I wanted to add in here. So if you can make this work, perfect. Go for it. Absolutely. But yeah, overall, I think this deck, I'm not going to lie to you guys, in the meta that we're in with Lucci, starter deck 14 Luffy, and then obviously black yellow Luffy, those being the most prominent and threatening decks, this deck is really not going to do too well against those. You can kind of overwhelm and maybe cheese out some wins here and there, but I think that this is a great just have fun with deck. You could probably take it to a local and do fine with it because it has the same build, almost same build as like a Zoro. Just the 4 life is really, really the problem here. And then, of course, we do have enough rush units to be able to pressure some of the black decks, of course. Every other deck you should be okay against. It's just like a pilot difference at that point. I really want this deck to do well. I think that this deck probably is the most fun deck for me that has come out of OP08. Actually, you know what? Marco's probably the most fun deck, but Chopper is a close second for sure. I feel like there's so many decks that had come out in OP08 that you can probably play for fun and maybe, who knows, surprise some people, but Chopper definitely is one that it's just a feels good deck. I'm not going to lie to you guys, probably don't take it to a regionals, but, you know, if you're feeling like you're tired of whatever you're playing against in the meta or playing with in the meta, try it out. Let me know how it goes. But in the meantime, we'll take it into the sim and see how it does. All right, going against Red Purple Luffy, this is probably going to be a real hard matchup, so let's hold on tightly. Let's keep this hand because we do have the Dr. Correa to search off with maybe a 1-cost event. We also have this Chopper, perfect for us. Let's go ahead and find the Shut Up and Come With Us, and then pass the turn here. This next turn, after this, we can play the Brook to get out this Chopper and cheat out some bodies, and then hopefully do some damage there. Yeah, they realize it's probably not smart for them to swing into us. Totally fine. We'll go ahead and cheat out some bodies here. And the Hiking Bear effectively acts as a blocker because this is a rested unit that they're probably not going to let survive too long. Yeah, that's fine. It allows this thing to swing into it. We're fine with that. They'll swing 7 into us, and we have to take this one, of course. And then the next thing they have is a Miss All Sunday. Totally fine there. I think what we're going to end up doing is playing down this Chopper. I don't want to put this and then use one of my only 2Ks here. So let's go ahead and just do this so we can get our leader effect. Give this Rested Dawn. I mean, it doesn't matter. We don't have anything else we can do. Oh, we can do it here too. Let's go ahead and pressure, actually, with this Correa into the Zoro and see if they just let it go. That's fine. Let's go ahead and swing 6 here. We'll get a blocker Chopper out. Looks good. We're going to swing just poke for 6. Against Red Purple Luffy, their hand size gets really small over time. And so being able to just poke them down is really nice. We're not going to use the Brook quite yet. So we'll go here, 6. And then I'm going to leave the 1 up just so I can use the Shut Up and Come With Us. Because the next turn, we're going to be playing out the Dragon and really pressuring them pretty hard. If this can survive, then we're in a pretty good state. But they're at 10 Dawn already, so... yeah, we're going to be, if they play a Newgate here, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So we'll see how that goes. Newgate, of course, if it does come down this turn, cannot deal with the Choppers the following turn unless they have any kind of like power reduction. But I imagine this turn, it could be one of those where they just play out the 10-cost Time Walk Luffy. That is an opportunity for them, especially since we already are at low health here. We're going to let this one go. That's fine with us. We're going to use the Shut Up and Come With Us, and perfect. We'll just play over it and let that go. That's perfect here, because this next turn, when we do play the Dragon will be able to put 2 on our leader, and then from there, we should be able to protect these other units. Of course, barring that they don't have any other rush units come down right now, this could be a good opportunity for them to try to clear the board. If they go, like, maybe, yeah, Dragon themselves, totally fine here. I actually think I want to counter out of this. You know what? It's not worth countering out. I think that's okay. Actually, no. You know what? If we counter out here, then they're incentivized to attack into it again, and we'll just block. I think that's fine. Yep, we'll just block here. Cody Jones is also pretty good overall. We're going to do this. We're going to go Dragon 2 here, and then we're going to use this to go 1, 2, 3. Doesn't really matter. We're going to get rid of this body if we can. So let's go ahead and just swing 6 into it. We'll get this chopper out. It's fine. We're not going to bring anything else out here. Oh, they let it go. That's okay with us. We're going to go here. If we can get a better target than this, it's fine. We don't. So we're just going to let that go. Sometimes if you have a full board, you just don't want to replace any of these. That's totally fine. This Zoro is very threatening, of course. And then we're going to play this dragon down. They probably have a rad beam to let it go. And then we'll pass the turn. We do have a pretty sizable board here, and they might want to play a little bit of the pick the board apart game, but I doubt that's the case here. Maybe it is. Who knows? Maybe it is. We could also just go Cody Jones this next turn, rest the queen. I'm just really mostly worried that this dragon is going to go, but it is what it is if that's the case. Queen's looking pretty good. Or them being able to just like take care of some of this stuff is also looking pretty good here. Yeah, we have enough units now that looks like we might be able to push. I don't know if pushing for game is quite what we can do, but we'll try it out. Especially going down to 1 life or 2 life is kind of scary. So let's go ahead and just rest these. And then we will go here. We're just going to poke them down. 6. We'll go 6 again, and then we're just going to hold on to what we have in our hand. Let's go and use the rested, 1 friendly. We'll go 6 here. I guess we play the Robson because it's our best unit. Let's go ahead and go, once again, 6 here. Poking them down. Okay. Let's go 8 here. See what they have. Rad beam. And I'm going to be honest. If they have a 10 cost, we are going to be in some trouble. So clearing this last life doesn't really matter as much. So let's go ahead and just attack into the queen to ensure that this thing isn't going to be swinging into us this next turn. Because if they do have the Time Walk Luffy, which they often do, usually it's like one of the last cards they hold on to. Yeah, then, you know, if they swing with this, it's pretty much a given. We know we're going to lose at that point. Oh, gosh. They don't have it, but they're going to be swinging 11 again. We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This has to be a counter, and it is. Unless they have something that like pumps them up. I don't think they do. We kind of, I think, got lucky here. We're just having to dump our entire hand, though, in the process. And then we can just push for game. I was really scared that, you know, that there was a Time Walk Luffy in their hand, but, you know, we definitely would have lost if that was the case. I think that probably should have been their play if they had it. So they didn't have it, though. We got pretty lucky that they didn't draw into it, but that's one of the problems with Red Purple Luffy is that sometimes the consistency of finding the pieces it needs, especially if you don't play a Nami Searcher, you can't find it. But I think this was a pretty good showing, being able to just pressure down with pokes over time. And yeah, I think if that queen had survived, if that last queen was alive, we definitely would have lost there. So yeah, at that point, you kind of have to recognize, okay, pushing for that last, getting them to 0 doesn't really matter. So make sure that the board is as clear as possible. So, against Smoker, I think we just want to take second. I think our second curve is pretty solid. We don't really have too many searchers that we want to throw down against Smoker because, well, if we throw down any searchers, they get to buff up their leader. Like if we play a Nami or a Kureha, the Dawn ×1 will allow them to be a pretty strong leader overall. Oh, perfect. We get this chopper off the bat. We'll take the hit, of course. And then we'll see what they throw down for 2. It could be a blocker. Just a brand new. That's fine. This next turn, this is so tempting to just go like, okay, we're going to play this, but it doesn't really make sense to. I think we just play this chopper down. Then we'll give rested to these 2. We'll swing in 6. And then we'll get another chopper. Let's put this at the top in case we do cycle through the deck so we can find it quicker. And then go another 6 to lead. And just ask for cards out of hand here. If we're able to protect this, then awesome. If we can't, so be it. This is one of those where maybe they go after this blocker here. That would be ideal for us. Also, the other thing here is that we do not really need to use the Nami because we don't want to give them, like I said, that extra 1,000 power with their leader ability. Because their leader ability, if you're unfamiliar, says if there is a character that has 0 on the field after using this ability -1, if there's a character that says has 0 on the field, then you gain 1,000 power. So yeah, Kobe coming down. I think it's kind of expected. It's okay. We'll survive. We'll manage. They go 5 here. That's fine. We'll take it. And then I think we will just stay a little bit healthy. Stay at 3, I think is fine. Following turn, what can we do? We can actually just go Robson here, and then use the ability here to go here, choose 2 friendly, here. We're not going to swing into this because we don't care. We'll go 6. We'll go 6 again. We're not going to minus this because we don't care. And then we'll go 6 again. Cool. And then likely they will start attacking to the board. If it makes sense to, we can counter out of 1 and maybe just soak up these hits. Because now these units are overall kind of just like blockers at this point. And then we can go play our dragon down, swing 7, swing 9. And I think that is going to apply a lot of pressure overall. We're going to counter out of this one because what they're going to end up having to do is if they don't have a KO unit, they'll have to swing Kobe and then Smoker into both of these. But they might have a unit here, and that's fine. They might have just... Oh, they don't. Okay, so they don't have a unit to get rid of these. That's fine. They're just using their bodies to swing into. Totally fine here. We want that. Because now we're going to apply some pressure with the dragon. We'll just go 7 at lead, and then go 9 at lead. They have been dumping a lot of 2Ks at this point. So we'll pass the turn. We have Hody Jones to kind of push for game as well. I don't know if they're going to be able to answer this by swinging into it, so we'll see what they do here. They might just swing 1 with Kobe, swing 5, and then use their leader ability to do something. They're on 8, so they could... There's a world where they could go like Moria. Borsellino's also acceptable. But it looks like this dragon's going to survive. And if that's the case, I think we just push for game. I'm being honest. I think we just push for game here. And then I think we go 7 with lead. See if we can get some stuff out of hand. I don't know if they have enough 2Ks. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if they have enough, so we're just going to push 8. And then push 10. Yeah, Smoker's one of those where if you just poke them down for 6s, it's going to be hard for them, once they're countering out of all this stuff, to have enough. Smoker's not one that's really super meta, though, right now, so, I mean, to be fair, Chopper isn't either, so we're in the battle of the non-meta. Smoker gets really interesting, though, in the next starter deck upgrade that we'll see at the end of October. But yeah, this is one of the strengths. You kind of just like use your board as blockers, as bait to like get the 2Ks out of hand, and then once that's out of the way, you kind of close out games like Dragon and Hody Jones. Okay, against Lucci, I'm gonna be honest, we're probably gonna lose this, but we'll try it out. We'll grab the chopper and pass the turn. We do have the Jambe. We have one of Jambe, and I don't know how we're drawing it like every single time. The sim hands sometimes bewilder me on like how bad they can be, but then also just like interesting on like what you can actually get out of it. So, okay, we'll swing 5. This is a pretty easy counter for them. We'll get the chopper out and then play this chopper down and then pass the turn. I don't see this surviving because them countering out of that first attack, they'll go rob Lucci into this chopper if it's ideal for them, and then they'll be able to minus this by 1, play out the Lucci because they filled up their trash. It's already at 3, and then, yeah. Oh, it may just be like a Brook? What do they have? I guess it's just a Brook. Very interesting. I wasn't sure what they were doing there, so, huh. This might be just a 5 at face? Okay, 5 at face, sure. We'll take it, I guess. I don't... we might just want to clear this. I don't know. They already have a Spandam in the board or in the trash, so I guess this doesn't really matter too much if it goes into the trash this turn as well. So let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's go and search with Dr. Kareha. See if we can find something. We don't find anything. That sucks. That's... Honestly, I mentioned this in the intro. If you don't hit with Dr. Kareha, what's going on? And I end up not hitting with Dr. Kareha. I don't think I think Zoro's a bait in this matchup, so let's not grab it. But instead, let's grab the blocker chopper. And then I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this because there's chances of them having something like an Ice Age to KO. So we don't want to play this chopper down first if we don't have to. We're actually going to play this out. And I think I want to cover the Nami. Yeah, I think I want to cover the Nami. And we'll pass. So now we have a pretty sizable board here. We could just play Hody Jones the next turn and kind of just go in and really pressure them hard. Hopefully something survives. I'm going to counter out because I'm a madman. What do they have for 6? Could be a Brook. This also could just be a Lucci as well. Lucci gets rid of like a Kureha and a... Oh, okay. Looks like they're going to get rid of these choppers. I think, yeah, it's fine to go and play Lucci. Why not? Yeah, it's a good time to play it. And then I think we just play Hody Jones the next turn. Really just pressure them down. Let's go Hody Jones. Boom, boom. Doesn't really matter. They're not going to use that. Give these rested units. This isn't going to do anything, so we'll go ahead and give this. And swing 6. Swing 5. Now that we're eating cards out of hand, this is one of those turns where they need a Lucci in the trash. So it's like, do you swing into the Lucci? I don't think you do. I think you just swing board. The reason why is because if there's a Lucci in the trash, they have the perfect combo here to go Helmeppo, Spandine. They don't have a Rebecca, though. So that's also something to keep in mind. Maybe we should have attacked into it, but yeah, just keeping in mind what they have in their trash is pretty important overall. Yeah, this is... it's rough. Hody Jones is probably, hopefully not going to get answered, but it could. I mean, okay. It looks like it's going to get answered. Cool. Awesome. Love Rob Lucci. It's one of those where it's like, well, I mean, yeah, you do your best. You try to rush him down if you can. Oh, okay. Cool. That's better for us, actually. Because this means that they're not going to be attacking into the Hody Jones. Keep in mind, though, that... well, they might pop this. They might pop this and then swing into this. I hope they do. I really hope that they pop this and swing into this because I don't want them to pop this and then swing into face. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind there. Yep, you can have this one. It's fine. We'll take that as well. I actually think this is a turn where we have to kind of clear board a little bit. So let's go ahead and swing 8 here. And then we just have to pressure really hard here. And then swing 5 at face. Because if they have a unit, they can actually lethal us next turn, and that's really important that we don't get lethaled. I don't want that to happen. And hopefully with Hody Jones and Dragon, you can kind of just keep these units alive and really put in some pressure. Once again, though, I don't know if it's possible for us to really stay alive the following turn, because we do have Law Chopper that we have to worry about coming down. Ooh, this is one where it's like, oh, do we protect these units if they decide to go for one of these two? They might just swing 9 at face. They're going 11. I can't even protect it. That sucks. That hurts. That hurts a lot. That hurts. Okay, Rebecca. Rebecca's probably going to grab a Brook. Oh, grabs Khalifa. So they're in a little bit of trouble as well, looks like. They do grab the Brook. Okay, that is annoying. Is there a world where we go and play... I think we can play Robson. Use this ability to choose this. We'll swing 6 at the Brook. They might block. They might just let it go as well. We'll go 6 here. Do they have enough counter for it? Oh, they let it go. Okay. We'll go 9 at lead. Of course. And then we'll play this Law down, use the effect, and then play out a chopper so that we have double blocker here. So it's a little bit harder for them to pressure. And then we have the Robson as well to go again if we really need to. So it looks like they're struggling to find what they need, which is really good for us. We love to see that overall. Of course, this chopper might just go down. It could be another Rebecca. And then Rebecca, you know, does its thing. Yeah, Rebecca into Brooke. Brooke KOs this. And then what do we do from there? What do we do from there? Just hope for the best. Hope for like a Hody Jones, I suppose. We'll take the hit. Chopper, okay. Huh. I think what we do... we go here. Give this a rested unit. 1, 2. We're just trying to get rid of these units the best that we can. We could have done double Robson, but I don't think that makes sense. 1, 2, 3. I think we'll go 7 here. Do they have enough? Oh, I was about to say. This is one of those where it's like I am just going to pressure here. Go 9. They might just block with the Rebecca. Yeah. We just have to play the chopper out. And then just hope for the best. Yeah, we just have to play the chopper out and hope for the best. Hope that they cannot KO both of these, which it's, you know, it's Lucci. It's what they do best, so. We shall see. 5 at 4. 5 at 4. Huh. They don't have it. This could be a bait. I think we just let it go. I think we let it go because it could be a bait where they're like, oh yeah, they're going to block with the law, then we'll get rid of the chopper and then swing all in. But I don't think that's the smart play here. If they're trying to bait me to block the Khalifa, I'm not going to take that bait. Not going to take the bait at all. We need these standing units to stay alive as best as possible. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Because to me, this looks like, oh my god, what do they have here? This is insane. Is it a Lucci? Man, they just did not see any Morias. I guess this is how you have to beat this matchup. No Morias. Because they're past that point of turn where they can do that. So this is probably where they just play down a Lucci. And then... oh, it's a Brooke. Brooke into what? Rebecca? I think we just win here. Yeah, we just win. We'll just go 7. And then the rest on the lead. We got incredibly lucky that they didn't see anything that they were like Moria. They did see, I mean, they're running, as you can see, Soap Sheep, which handles a lot of the smaller units which we have. They did have Jack, but thankfully, as you can see, Dragon really helped answer that Jack the turn that they played it down. They were able to handle a lot of our bodies per turn, but yeah, as I thought, that was probably a bait. And so, good thing we didn't take it. Ooh, Zoro versus Chopper. Let's see who is better at being aggro. Let's go ahead and take second. I think that they're probably going to be better at being aggro, but I could be wrong here. Hody Jones is one of those where this, actually, you don't really want to play it in this matchup because you don't want to go down to 0 life against somebody that can just bypass your blockers. But let's go ahead and go Nami. Nami grabs Brooke. And then next turn, we can play Brooke into Chopper and then build up a pretty big board overall. Something to keep in mind is that they do have the Shut Up and Come with us, so it's going to be a little bit of a nuisance overall. I think we just take the first hit and see what we can do from there. Let's go ahead and swing 5. And then go Brooke, Chopper. I like this Chopper instead. We don't have any units with it, and so this will just be bait for them to swing into. Totally fine here. How many counters do we give out of it? I don't know, is the question. We do have Chopper, the Chopper Law block, or Chopper Blocker Law combo that we can do next turn. Okay, that's fine. We'll eat that one up. And then I think we might have to take a couple of 6s here. It's unfortunate. Okay, we'll take the we'll counter out of this one with this. We'll take this one. What do we do? I guess we could go like... This is one of those awkward ones where you can't really use your leader ability because you want to use your chopper first. So let's go ahead and just swing 5 here. They're going to use the shut up and come with us. Totally fine. It's what we have to, unfortunately, do. We have to get these bodies off the board. Oh, another chopper. Ouch. Ouch. Robson? Go 6. Okay, and then we'll do this, use the card action, and then bring this back out, and chopper blocker. Boom. Now we have a full board, and hopefully they spend some time getting rid of it. Unfortunately, though, they're at 4 life, we're at 2. So Hody Jones is not looking really good right now. It's one of those unfortunate things here, but with going into a matchup like this, where you're going against fellow aggroers, you kind of have to just... Oh, they're just going face. Okay, we'll take that one, but we can't take too many more, unfortunately. That is unfortunate for sure. Let's see what they do. I hope that they... Okay. We are going to... No blocker. Boom, boom. We don't have any 2Ks, unfortunately, here. Are they feeling like they can just pressure us down at this point? It might be the case. We do have a... Okay. We like to see this. We do like to see this. It's fine. You can have that one. I think we're going to go 4 to 4. We'll just block this one. What are you doing? We're not going to give that to you for free. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Okay, so let's go ahead and just... We'll play this down first. And then we'll use this to give this, I mean, I guess this as well. The units that we need, we'll go here. We'll go 5 to 3. They're going to use the shut up and come with us, because I'm assuming that's what they have in hand. Yeah, ooh. Chopper blocker. Hate to see it. Go here. Go here. It doesn't matter. None of these matter. Let's go 7 here. This is one of those where if they have a 2K, we're kind of, okay, this is, we might be able to protect it, or we might be able to survive. To swing with the law into the Luffy. Oh, yeah. We are in a world of trouble here, because if they have another Luffy, yeah, we're definitely screwed. We need to be able to counter out. Oh, gosh. What is this? Probably just face, right? Yeah, we have to block that. We have to block that one. No! They have another one? Oh, God. We are so screwed. We are so screwed. Because this is probably a Jambe. They probably have a Jambe in here. So I think what we have to do... How do we even get out of this one? 5 at lead? Yeah. Well, the good news here is that if it's a Jambe... They can't counter out of this, and we just die anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll go here. Let's go ahead and give 3 rested units. This will handle this. This will swing here. Get the chopper out. I'm not liking this at all. They don't have the Jambe. Oh, it was a bait. Okay. We cannot, if this is the case, we cannot swing into life because we do not want to give them chances to pull out a Jambe. So this has to be either a Luffy or a Jambe for them to win. It's a kid and killer, so they win anyway because they think that we just don't have enough to counter out of whatever they throw at us. Gosh darn it. We were so close. We were so close. If we had 1 2K, unlucky. Yeah, it's part of the game, but yeah, We only had that, and we would have been able to probably survive. Yeah, see, here's the Jambé in life. This is one of those where 4 life just sucks. This is why Zoro is a little bit better than the Chopper here. You have to play a board, of course, but I think one of the struggles with this deck is it doesn't have enough 2Ks, so you might want to bump up the 2Ks a little bit. But we were close. I think it's smart how we played it. We don't want to swing and give him life and have a potential Jambé come out of it, which, as you can see, there's one sitting right there. But yeah, well played. Okay, we're going to go against Bonney. Man, I'm every meta deck that I go against, I'm like, gosh, this is going to be painful, especially like considering, you know, Bonney is really good against Zoro, and so imagine doing the same against a 4-life leader. That would be pretty painful. We're going to grab that and then pass the turn. I think this is a turn where they might just swing 7, or swing 6, use leader ability, or sorry, swing 6, baby 5, and then I guess that's that. They grab the blocker Rosinante off of it. Oh, okay, this is fine. We can actually just maybe challenge it. Yeah, so we can challenge this pretty easily then. We'll be able to get something off of this. Grab the chopper. We'll take the hit. This is one of those where it's like, I guess we want to make sure that they're not cheeky and just counter out with the 2K. So let's go ahead and just get rid of some of these on the board. We will go ahead and play this chopper down. Get the value off of it here. Wow, what? Are you kidding me? Okay. That insane, but sure. This chopper might actually be better in this matchup. So let's go ahead and play this down. Then we'll go ahead and just rest these up. Then we'll go 5 here. 6 here. Grab this. And we don't have anything to play off of it, so that's fine. Now we have a pretty big board, which looks pretty good overall. Insane that they counter out of that. I was like thinking they were going to be cheeky and just give me a 2K if I swung 2 into 1. But man, 2 into 1, I think that might have been a slight... I don't know if that's a misplay. Maybe they're just hoping to keep both units alive. But even then, I had bodies swinging at them. So I don't know why they did that. They want to give me... If they want to swing into this, that's fine. Okay, we'll do this. We can take it. What do we do? What do we do? I guess we can go like Brook into this chopper. Brook into this chopper. Reason I did that in that order is because, well, they're going to rest one of these. Go ahead and just do this. And then they're going to rest this one, and then we'll swing 7 at lead. It's fine. They're countering out. But I'm a little bit shook, is what I am right now. Almost to the point where, like, do I even swing at them and give them resources? Because they're just starving themselves by countering out of this stuff. But I guess that's fine. Okay. They're going to swing here, and we're going to use this blocker to just, like, just go ham at it, right? They're going to swing Cavendish probably into this. They'll go like 7. We can just, like, block. Oh, no. They don't even do that. That's perfect. Counter out. We'll go here. Insanity. We actually can play the Hody Jones. It's pretty interesting. This is actually an interesting spot where we're in. I think we might want to just do this. Guess we could play the Robson out. We're just trying to eat up counter if we can. Yeah, that's fine. Since they rested that blocker, let's go ahead and just do this. Let's play the Hody Jones down. Rest these two. Swing in here. We want to get rid of the Cavendish, because Cavendish is a little bit of a pain. Go 5 at lead. And 5 at lead. This matchup sucks a little bit because not being able to use your leader ability effectively because you have to play a body down. That's like, I want to play the Hody Jones down and get my leader ability procced. However, if you play the Hody Jones down and then you put things on, then that's a little bit of a problem. Oh, this is actually really good for us. This is actually really good for us. Oh, it's really bad for us now. That's really bad for us. No. The only way, I mean, if this chopper survives... Going face. Going face. Okay. No! They know. They know. I think we have to go... So this gets it down to 3. It goes to 5. So I think we just go 7 here. 7 to 5. They'll probably rest the Hody Jones. It's fine. Seven to 5. They might use the Rosinante. We're just gonna clear board the best we can overall. Okay, that's fine. We'll go 5 to 5. We don't have to swing into this, by the way, but we just want to get it off the board. I think that's incredibly important here. 5 to 5. We're just asking for cards. Let's go 6 here. We're not going to play any of this because, well, we don't want that chopper. And I'm going to be honest, like, it doesn't really matter, so I think we just swing anyway just to get this out. Yeah, none of this really matters. None of this matters at all because we'll keep this here. Tap it down, and then we're going to go Law, use the card effect, bounce this, and then play this again. We're not going to worry about this. This might be a 10-drop Doflamingo turn this turn, and then this will tap it down. So it's not. It's a your Rouge or your Rouge, whatever. They don't... I mean, we could just block this pretty easily. It's fine. We'll go 7 at lead, minus this. They might rest the Law. Yeah. We can just pressure hard then, if that's the case. 1, 2, 3. I think we can just play the Robson down since this is rested. It doesn't really matter. We'll play this. We'll use our leader ability. 1, 2, 3. We'll give this Rush. And we're just going to pressure really hard. They dumped a lot of cards to try to stay alive early game and protected things they probably shouldn't have. We'll go 7. None of this matters. We have a full board. We will go 6. We actually sequenced. That's okay, I suppose, because this is pretty easy for them. We'll go 7. And then we'll just go 8. Yeah, them countering out of that was pretty peculiar, but I suppose, you know, like, if they want to try to stay alive with this aggression, maybe it makes sense. I would have, if I were them, probably not have countered out of this opening. I think it just all went downhill by them protecting the baby 5. There's some people that just like really like their searchers and will protect them, and I think that's just the wrong play. These are blockers once you use them. So obviously, if you're doing this, I would suggest not to. I think that's the biggest misplay they had, because from there, I feel like the game was rather easy because they just like countered out of everything past that, and Bonney likes to get a big hand size and then use that hand size to protect their kid. But because they were at 3 cards when they played the kid down, this chopper was able to just put in work against it. So yeah, I think that maybe with the slight misplay, it was a little bit easier. I don't know if this matchup is this favorable normally, though. If this leader wasn't 4 life, I swear this would be probably one of the best decks to play right now. I think that it just... the amount of aggression that it provides and the color combination of being both red and green, having access to Zoro, having access to Hody Jones, having Zoro be searchable is really awesome. The fact that, you know, you can Zoro Jambe is really, you know, quite powerful. However, we weren't able to do that in this video. It's just one of those combos that, you know, when it happens, it's amazing. You feel awesome about it, but you don't really need this combo in order to win games. Hody Jones can carry a lot of it, Dragon can carry, and then of course just the repeated bodies off of this chopper is just insane. Now, if I were to change some things up, I might look to add more 2Ks. One of the reasons that you would run less 2Ks in a deck like this is because you have a lot of bodies that come in tapped, and when those bodies come in tapped, they act like blockers, and so your opponent will likely attack into them, and you don't really have to worry about counter in hand, and you can kind of save counter, unless you're trying to protect like this chopper, of course. But that's the whole thing with like Zoro and like aggro decks, is that their bodies on board are the actual counter instead of having to pitch counter from hand. But yeah, I think this deck has legs. It's straight gas. It's really good. I really enjoy playing it. I think that this deck unfortunately suffers from being 4 life. You know, I wish that we would start seeing Bandai maybe put some dual color leaders at 5 life. Maybe that's too broken. Obviously, we have like decks like Rebecca and Vivi, but they can't attack. That's the stipulation. If there was maybe something where they had dual color leaders that were at 5 life and you either can attack or get a effect off of it and not attack, that'd be kind of interesting. Kind of like, you know, Hody Jones is a 5 life green leader, but sometimes you don't attack with him because you're using the ability to tap him. That could be something we could look into maybe in the future with Bandai. But yeah, overall, if this leader was 5 life, it would just be busted. I think that the green color combination really unlocks a lot that you don't see in Zoro. Like Hody Jones is just too good. But yeah, I think overall though, if you're playing in a meta that has a lot of Lucci and they see Morias, you're probably going to lose. Bonney's a tough matchup, of course. Zoro is going to be a little bit better than you at what it does, is because it just has a lot more rush units, and I think it's more defensive, and obviously being 5 life is really good for Zoro. And as you saw, we almost pulled that one out. I think if we were able to just survive that turn, have just like 1 2k instead of 3 1ks, we would have probably been able to pull that one out because we had a Hody Jones as another rush unit to come down. But yeah, we just didn't have it. Unfortunately, you don't sometimes, and that's just the way it is. But overall, Chopper seems like a lot of fun. One of the cooler decks to come out of OP08, and it really has like this interesting Christmas theme, in my opinion, because of the red and green. And obviously, when you are the Drum Kingdom, it's very much a snowland with the reindeer as a, you know, kind of a whole motif going on, but I digress. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching the video as always. Thank you so much. Please make sure to sub and like, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.